guys, this is my guitar improvisation loop series where we take a chord progression or chords from a song, loop it so that you can practice your scales and chords over it, and also talk about some of the theories so you know what to play over these chords. So in a second we'll have a loop of the chords playing around and around and around, and on the screen I'll display some options and suggestions of what you could play over it as you improvise. Let's take a look at these chords and see what's going on. So we have an A minor chord, A minor 7 to be exact, and then a D7 chord or a D9 to be also exact. My pinky's on this E note and it stays there for both of these chords. Now, you don't have to play them this way. We can play A minor 7 like this to D7. A million ways to do it, and we'll see that on the screen, all the different options and positions you can play these in. But A minor 7 to D7 is a 2-5, we could say, that would resolve us to G major or G major 7 in a jazz progression. The thing about progressions like this, though, is that they don't go anywhere. It goes 2-5. Now the 5 should go to the 1, but it never does in this song. So we actually could say that this song is an A Dorian, and this is the 1 instead of that one, if that makes any sense to you, if you've studied some of your theory. So A minor 7 could be our 1 chord, lowercase Roman numeral 1, and this chord, the D7, could be uppercase Roman numeral 4, because it's a perfect 4th from here. So the scale you could play over this would be A Dorian. The value of being able to recognize that it's a 2-5 or could be a 2-5 in the key of G major is that if you play G major over this progression, you will be rendering the sound of A Dorian, because we never go to a G chord, so we don't really have that major scale sound. It's interesting how you could think that you're playing G major all day long, but if the chords never go to G major, or better yet, if they hang around an A minor chord over and over and over and over, you're going to get the sound of the mode that occurs on that note. In this case, it's the second note of the scale, of the G major scale, and that's where the Dorian mode is. So here's one way to play it. You change position here. Another way to do it might be stretch your pinkies out. But you'll see how you can play this all over the neck. This is just one position, the position I happen to be in. And then for D7, you don't have to really change anything. But the whole point of loop videos like this is so that you can work on targeting certain notes. So if you notice the difference, the main difference, almost the only difference between these two chords is this F sharp note. In A minor 7, G, the minor 7th of that chord, goes down a half step to F sharp, which is the major 3rd of D. It's D9 chord here. And so that might be a note to hit whenever we go to D7 to make it sound more like you're following the chord. Now you don't have to do that, that's just an option, but that would be giving us the sound of Dorian, really, more than any other note. That's what Dorian is. It's a minor scale with a major 6. So of course we have our scale. That's kind of step 1. We want to be able to navigate all of the neck in whatever scale that you're playing. In this case it's A Dorian, same notes as G major. But then we have our arpeggios. So we're going to show those on the screen as well. That's an A minor 7 arpeggio, a D7 arpeggio. Just one of many, many ways that you could play a D7 arpeggio. But what we're going to do on the screen is have the entire scale, that's not going to change, A Dorian all over the neck, and then as each chord plays, we'll see it highlight the notes that are in that chord, and those will be target notes. So we're going to try to play the scale up and down and then land on a note. Whenever you punctuate a phrase or whenever you kind of dwell on a note, try to let it be a note that's in the chord that's playing. So here's the improvisation loop for Oye Como Va.